Morning, everybody. It is 8:10 a.m. It is February 9th. Welcome to my channel. This market continues to go higher. Yes, it has low volume. This whole week, it's got kind of low volume. Not really sure why. There hasn't been any major data releases or economic news this week. It was kind of light. Maybe that's why. Definitely a weak volume. That doesn't mean anything because the price is moving higher, but you could definitely see it in the candles. The size of them. It's just yesterday that the ES or the SPY was like a barcode. I didn't even trade it. So today we're getting some again significant lower relative volume. I'll show you guys that in a sec. So, but without further ado, this market continues to go higher. Tech driving the market. Semis are just unstoppable. So without further ado, welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. I use volume profile, market profile to find structure in the market, along with gamma exposure levels, supply and demand, and the most traded price of the year, the rolling month, the rolling week, and the previous day. Helps me find structure in the market. And it hopes to be on the right side of this market. Market's getting frothy, but that doesn't mean anything. You know the saying, the market could be stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent, which is a very, 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 very key saying because that's true. Because each time, if you're a bear, you want to keep shorting these tops, you're getting punished, right? And the market can keep going higher and higher and higher. We are going to get a correction. Who knows when? Okay? Nobody knows when. All right, but you just got to be prepared for when and if that happens, right? So, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Set an alert as well. Also, if you like the content, give me a thumbs up. And thank you. And follow me on X at Gonzo719. And we can get right into the futures watch list here. And the big winner of the day, Bitcoin. Is it going to head towards 50K? Don't know, but right now it's up 4.11%. Ether's up 3.72. The VIX is up 0.47. Russell finally had some life in it yesterday, up 0.41. Nasdaq's up 0.24. ES up 0.15. Dow's up 0.12. 30-year bonds being bought up 0.1, 0.10 or 0.10. Silver up 0.08. The dollar is pretty much flat. 10-year yield will be interesting. It's at 4.17 yield. Crude, it's been on a tear, pulling back a little bit. Gold holding above the 2K. It's down 0.33. That's what's going on there. Nothing crazy. Moving on to the Mag 7 Plus. Coin leading the pack. 6.66% with Bitcoin moving higher. Okay. So Bitcoin's already almost $10 higher than the close yesterday. Okay. Snow up 3.63. Now that could be because of net, ticker net, Cloudflare, beat earnings, and that's up. Possibly sympathy. Netflix up 1.38. That thing's been quiet. That thing's been a little quiet little thing. So that's interesting. Nvidia up 0.82. Okay. They still haven't reported earnings yet. So Tesla's up 0.67. Is there a laggard? No. There is not even a single negative stock here. Okay. Now moving on, top sector stocks. Salesforce. That's been on my watch a little bit. Almost entered that yesterday, but didn't. Qualcomm, oh man, I was looking at that a couple days ago. It looked good, but the anchor VWAP scared me off a little bit. I thought we would have got to hit that, got a little pullback, then I would have got in. But you just never know with trading, right? Eli Lilly still pushing higher. It's ridiculous. Costco just seems to never slow down either. Okay. Now laggards. Disney down 0.85. Okay. PepsiCo had a miss in revenue or sales, I believe. First time they said in a long time. So they are down 1%. Okay. Now, let's look at a swing trade list. That's not the swing trade list. That is. And you got Cloudflare. Net leading the pack, up 23.24%. Had a nice little base formant, and now gapping up huge. Mara's a monster, up 10.94%. That should make Rosita happy. Riot, up 9.2%. MicroStrategies are all Bitcoin related, right? Here's the, I don't know how you pronounce that, IBIT. That's a ETF that tracks the Bitcoin. That's up 3.84. Now you got Datadog, up 3.16. I believe that's Arista Networks, up 3.12. United Airlines, they got an upgrade. Tulio, Unity Software, Tilray, Hood, CrowdStrike, up 1.95. Shopify, okay. I was in that. I took all my profits at the top, around 91 and change yesterday. That move was a monster. All right. I will look probably to see some type of pullback, but they have earnings on Tuesday morning. So just curious of what that does today. All right. AMAT, semis, strong, AI, Celsius, Carvana, Palantir has been on a tear. Okay. And ARC. ARC starting to make a move. All right. That's the leaders. Now we got laggards here. Expedia missed earnings, down big, down 16.1%. Affirm also earnings not good. Take Two down as well. Airbnb in sympathy down with Expedia. That's interesting. This is a semi down 3.31. ARM's down. That ARM had a monster day yesterday after earnings. Monster, probably some profit taking. Avgo, Broadcom, down 2.34. Interesting. Couple semis there. Illumini, or how do you say it? They missed earnings. They're down. Western Digital, Lululemon. All right, those are some down stocks. Okay, so it's not all hunky dory, but they don't move the market really, like the Mag 7 does. Okay, now we go back to the top sectors and we go into the sectors. Semis are just on a tear. It's just ridiculous. Mainly because of AI, right? As long as those are moving, risk on. Okay. Semis up 0.48. Oh, it just went down. That was a 6. That was just 0.6. It went down to 0.48. Right? I just showed you guys some semis taking a hit. Interesting to see. Well, Nvidia's up 1%. So technology, that includes semis. And then there's the laggard is utilities. All right, 10-year yield is reported. Let's see what that is. That's in 1 minute. We'll see where that is. All right. The leading index this morning is the Russell. It's up 0.40. The laggard is the Dow, down 0.4. Not down, up 0.14. Okay. That wraps up the futures watch list. All right. Let's get into some economic calendars, some news, earnings. Okay. This is a very, very benign calendar for today. We don't have much today. Fed Logan. That's pretty much what's going on today. Very, very light. Very, 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 very light in news. Okay. You can see here PepsiCo rail sales miss. Disney harnesses AI to drive streaming ad technology. OpenAI hits 2 billion revenue milestone. Microsoft backed OpenAI hit the 2 billion revenue milestone in December. Pinterest, they also had weak earnings, so they're down. We talked about Cloudflare. We talked about a bunch of this other stuff. Don't have to go into that much. Let's look at earnings. I think I talked about that enough. But let's go in because yesterday after the close, Affirm, Pinterest, Cloudflare, Expedia, just talked about these. Illumina, okay, not great, except Cloudflare. And this morning, PepsiCo, Candy Growth, AMC Networks, those reported this morning, okay. So, I mean, that's kind of, it's so light in news, okay. I mean, there's earnings, but very light in news. Let's just go right over to the daily charts. I mean, there's no point in wasting time here. Let's look at the SPY. And there's not much to analyze here. All right, let's just look at this recent move here. Right, it touched the 9 EMA daily here, but hasn't touched it since. Okay, you had the gap up, it's held it. Yesterday, what an ugly day. What an ugly day that is. So held last week's highs, above last month's highs. So bullish. That's all you can say about it. Currently at 499.42. 499.42 is a gap up, which is bullish, right? Is this going to be when it hits 500? I'm assuming people are going to take some profits because that's a psychological number. You already hit 5,000 in the SPX, but I think the market closed at 4,997 yesterday, so it really didn't hold above it. Okay, so very interesting to see what happens today. All right, in the Qs, holding above last week's highs, last month's highs, right? Another day that really didn't do much, did make a new high. Where is that at now? 434.09. That is gapping up as well. Okay. So, can anything slow this train down? Don't know. I'm getting a little cautious of new longs. With this low volume, it doesn't mean you can't get paid, but I'm kind of holding back from the indexes, trading them a little bit as far as like a swing to go long, because you notice the muted volume. But however, individual stocks have been better plays. And like Shopify for me yesterday, that was like a 220% return on Shopify. So that paid, right, when the market didn't do much yesterday. So individual stocks are making moves, but the indexes are kind of cooling off a little bit. They're not going crazy. I mean, definitely could go higher, right? But the lack of volume is like not the best thing. Okay, let's look at the bond market. That bond market is not making its mind up. Look at this range. We dipped, but then we're back into this range again. So it's like above the 200-day moving average, in between 4.19, basically 4.2 and 4.0. It's got to make its mind up. Okay, VIX is dead. We got to look at that. The dollar. Let's look at the dollar. And the dollar is in a range as well, but it's in an uptrend, right? Now we're in this range, 104.64 to 103.90, right? We're in this range. We're above the 200-day moving average. The higher this goes, the more weight it's going to put on equities, okay, and in commodities. Just have to see, okay? It's not a lot of movements there, not a lot of economic data coming out to move them. So that's what's going on there. Let's go over to my favorite thing to look at is structure. Let's look at the structure together. And you're going to notice something right off the bat here is the most traded price of the week has moved. Like I said, the market needed to do is value followed price. So now, most traded price of the week is 5,012 and a half. That is bullish, right? The market said this was value, and the market kept holding this value up here, and it moved it higher. So as long as we stay above this, you have a good shot of going higher. Okay, so that's another feather in the cap for the bulls. Okay, now look what also happened yesterday. What did I say yesterday? I didn't trade this, but I said the midpoint, this week low, right here, needed to be defended. You see what it did? Came down to the value area low of the day before and the overnight low and got defended. Okay, the sellers are just not strong. They're just not strong right now, and we're gapping up right now. Okay, so gap up. Now you see we have some thinning volume out here. So what you need, you have a double distribution profile in here now. You kind of can almost look at it as two different sessions here, right? So you can look at it from here. You know, you could start making a move up, and I'm gonna say this: it's looking frothy, but it's been frothy for a while. But this is getting to be, I think they said you're gonna set a record. I want to say, don't quote me, 15 weeks in a row the market has went up. It's going to set a record. So, pretty frothy. Okay, so let's look at yesterday. Yesterday's high, yesterday's low, I mean. Yesterday's high, overnight high, overnight low. Okay, we're gapping up. We're at the top of the range. Now look at this. This is very important. Okay, the most traded price of the overnight is right at the top. Okay, what else do I notice? The majority of the overnight session is long. Okay, the majority of the overnight session is long. It's about 85% net long. Okay, so you got longs are getting paid from here, 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 and here. Okay, you're gapping up, and the most traded price is here. So that means that the most contracts traded overnight are right here, right now, where the price is at. Okay, building up energy here. Usually this is a bullish imbalance. Usually you're gonna make an excess. Okay, that is setting up, I'm not gonna lie, for somewhat of a good short. Okay, so you have this in your favor. All right, so it's the first time I'm really kind of going, okay, I might see where the bearish activity could have some legs. All right, now 85% net long, overnight most trader price at the top of the range, price at the top of the range, everybody is getting paid, right? Now we have a weak low. Look at the overnight low right here, and it lines up with yesterday's most traded price, the most traded price of the week. Okay, you break this, okay, you are going to get a move, and now you have another weak low right here. Okay, you have another weak low right here. So yesterday's lows, the prior day's overnight lows, and value area low with this little sliver of single prints right here. Okay, so what I could see happening, okay, is a push up, like I said, make excess, come through here. Now what's the test? You probably go here, you push through here, and push through here. We're gonna get into this demand, and then you got to really see if you rip out of there. If you don't, you're gonna probably fill this gap. So let's put that all into scenarios. Okay, let's put that all into scenarios. Let's go with the bullish one first. Okay, bulls are in control, so let's go with that one first because that makes sense to go with that one first. Okay, this is the first kind of day I'm looking at it like going, there's the extension right there. There it is. Now 8:30, I have to mention, what just probably happened was a CPI revision. That was CPI revision. Okay, I forgot to mention that. There's the extension. Now it might have been revised lower. There's the extension. Just happened. Okay, that's what you need it to happen. Now how much farther does this push it? I don't know. Okay, let me see if something dropped here on news just so I can see that CPI revision. If that really came out. Let's look at that for a sec. Give me 1 second. Huh. Okay, it says use. Here, I can show you this. Right here it says US December CPI revised to plus 0.2, previous 0.3. So it was revised down, which is bullish. Okay, that's why this move's happening. That was data that market finally moves on data. Significant data just came out. Now this is probably all doctored up, but it doesn't matter. Pushing higher now. Boy, market like that. The market like that. Wow. The market like that. And there you go. Pfft, Jesus. CPI revision. All right. So that's a huge gap up now. Monster move. Look at this. Crushing shorts. Real thin volume. How high does this go? This could be, I'm going to be honest, this could be the blow off top. This could be the blow off top. If you're going to go the gap this high, this could finally be the blow off top. Now, I'm not predicting that. I'm just saying you finally got a bullish catalyst this week, right now. Okay? If you're long and the market opens and you're up here, unless you don't get a monster move and you start going back into the range, you're going to start taking profits. Okay? That's a monster gap up. Okay? So, let's look at this again. Since that news just came out, let's just look at this again together. All right, so bullish, you got the bullish right now. Okay, so big move up, real. You're really long. Everybody's really long right now. Okay, so this really now with this huge gap up, here's the gap fill. Here, look how big this range is. It's already 30 points. Yesterday was 15. It's double the range of yesterday. That news just happened. Okay, so in a gap up like this, you know, any failure to fill the gap, you're going to go higher. Now, this is, to me, you just got the breakout. That could be it. But I'm giving you these scenarios, right? Come back, fill the gap. How much higher do you go? I don't know, because you just went higher, right? Now, you can also fill the gap, move into range, and this is where you might get bearish, but you have demand here, and this could, people could buy here. So that's really it. that I would look for. Now that that just happened, I'm really flipping towards the other side, and I'll be very patient with it. Okay, so back to what I was saying before. Now we have the gap, big gap up, right? Most traded price was here. I said you needed to get excess. We got our excess with news. Okay, so remember, longs are all in here, right there, right there. The most contracts traded is right here. Okay, very important to note that, because if we stay up here, which would be good, and price does this, cuts through that, okay, people are going to start taking profits from the overnight. Market likes to do old business before new business. So this is old business. And then you're going to come down here and test this, okay? If you test, I expect to get a little pop, a little support, a little support. But if you do one of these and hold, you're going to come down and take this weak low. If you knock that out, it's going to be a cascading effect, okay? Everybody who's long going to start taking profits. This is a demand zone. Not sure how much it holds up. You probably get a little bounce in here, a little support. But if it rips and you break this low, which is a gap that's been not filled, you could go right there, fill that gap. That could be it for the day. You also have week to day VWAP right here. That could be it. If it's not it, it's going to go farther, okay, to this next demand. And you got monthly VWAP here. That could be the correction. That could be. That's not a prediction. If that happens, like I said, you need to see volume pick up. You need to see weakness all over the market. But if that happens, that will happen. Okay? Super frothy market. This is very, if I'm bullish right now, like this is not what I want to see. Like, I mean, bullish coming into the market. I don't want to see this. I'm not going to go long right now. This is nuts, right? And this could be, let me explain one more thing. This could be, I don't know if you guys know Jason Shapiro. He's a market wizard, okay? He's looking to short this market. He's a contrarian trader, okay? He says he'll get short when bullish news becomes bearish, okay? If this market takes out these lows and starts moving, this is bullish news. And if the market turns bearish on it, I'm gonna go into options plays. I'm gonna really look into something, because this market's very overbought, and we'll see. But again, stuff has to happen in order for me to feel like that. Okay. Now, let's move on to the Nasdaq. Let's move on to the Nasdaq. You got our move, okay, with news. All right, now we got our move on with news. Okay, now look, Nasdaq also moved its most traded price of the week up, 17,850. Okay, look at this right here, overnight low, right to the tick on that as well, right to the tick. Okay, we are gapping up, most traded price of the overnight right here, pretty much almost 100% no long in the Nasdaq. Thinning out profile right here. Okay, let's look at the profile over here. Okay, you got a double distribution right here, and we're thinning out right on this move. Okay, bulls need to defend this. If they can't, the market should pull back. Okay, the market should pull back. Like I said, this bullish news turns bearish, it's bearish. Okay, so it's the same structure setup basically, okay, as the ES. I'm liking them both. Okay, now here's yesterday's highs. There's the gap fill. Okay, I'm right now looking at it now. I probably like the ES setup better, but I still like the Nasdaq setup. Here's yesterday's lows, overnight lows, overnight highs. Okay, I just said 100% net long. 100% net long. Everybody's getting paid in the Nasdaq. Go from that low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Has not broken a higher low. That's one time framing. Okay. Now, just like I said, the most traded price is right here in the overnight. That's longs. Longs are there. Probably taking profit here. Okay. Now, let's just get right into scenarios. Okay. So bull scenarios. Okay. Their job, the Nasdaq's job, is this area here to defend. This is the area to defend for the bulls. Okay. For me, I don't know how much interested I am in it along today. Okay, so what you could do is you could push up in the market, come down here, all right? Most traded price of yesterday, demand zone, and the most traded price of the week. Okay, if you defend that, you can do this. All right, you could make it up here, go a little higher, and tap the overnight high, and maybe do that, and you come down to your balance for the rest of the session. That's probably the only thing I'd be possibly interested in. Okay, bear side. I talked about this now. All right. Remember, bullish news turns bearish is bearish. Okay. So overnight, most trader price of the overnight. See, it's already coming back. We still have. I'm hoping this stays up here. Be honest with you. Okay. Okay. Because the first thing I want to see is you take out the most trader price of the overnight. You're gonna take out longs here. They're gonna get stopped. Then the next thing is the gap fill. If you start going into range, okay? If you like, let's say that's the open. You short that open, comes into here. You got to take some off here because this is a place that the bulls have to defend. If they crack that and you hold, there's a weak low here. You'll push through that into this demand zone. I don't know how much legs this will have. This demand zone, you can push right here to the most traded price of the year. If you push through that, you go to the most traded price of the month and month-to-date VWAP. Okay? That could have been the blow-off with that bullish news. So I'm really liking the setup. Okay? I probably like ES better. Really piqued my interest now because I'm just falling asleep with this market. All right, meaning the indexes. Individuals are doing some things. All right, so very, very interesting. Okay, and I'll hit you with a bonus to see it. Like I said, really like this in the ES. Really, really like it. It's very clean. Okay, let's look at it in your candlestick way, and I'll show you the relative volume probably picked up with that news. Obviously it did. So give me one sec before I leave you guys, and we'll look at some of this relative volume here. So here's relative volume. Okay, you can see the green bars shoot it up, right there with that news, right? But overall, we're only 78 to 83% of normal volume. See, that's weak, and we were below that prior to this news popping out. Okay, so it picked up a little bit with this news, but woof. All right, now besides that, okay, let's go over to the hourly charts. There's a couple things I want to show you guys here. And you can see in the candlesticks of what I was talking about. All right. All right. Let's take these down. You don't need to see that. We don't need to see the relative volume now. Okay, this is an hourly chart. Okay. So let's look at this. Like I said, pushed up. Okay? Pushed up. Now you can't see where the most traded price is. That's where candlesticks don't tell you that. So that's what I said. You come down here. This is the test, okay? Now, you break that. There's the weak low I talked about. Now look what's here. A trend line that's been honored 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. You break that. You fill the gap, right? You might go down to here. Okay, here's monthly VWAP right there. Don't know if that big of a move happens, but it's very interesting right now. It finally got me excited. Now look at the NASDAQ. It has a nice trend line as well. Look at this trend line in the NASDAQ. Started here, hit here, and hasn't been hit again, right? And this actually setups even better with the trend line, because look, if you come down here and test this area and most traded price right here, break that, hold, like I said, you can come down here and tag the most traded price of this year. If you break that, most traded price of the month with monthly VWAP. Here's monthly VWAP. Here's week to date VWAP. Okay? Just frothy. I mean, look. Lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Long's getting paid. Okay? So, that's going to be it for me today. Hope you guys take something from what I just said and subscribe. And set an alert if you can. Also, if you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up. Much appreciated. And of course, do any questions, just leave me comments, okay? Hopefully someone out there is taking in these golden nuggets, all right? And then you can always follow me on X at Gonzo719, all right? Everybody stay green, stay patient, have a great weekend. Not a lot of good things happen after 1 p.m. on a Friday, so hopefully you make money before that, all right? Take it easy.